Wait till I get back and see him. Wait till I slap a gun. Alright, yeah. Yeah, wait. Wait till I come back in the market late night. And then it's just you and I.
You're gonna be children. Kids will be kids, man. You know what I'm saying? I expect that from them.
Let's take it back to where this storm really started. That wild traffic stop that flipped everything upside down. Picture this. King Andre Harris, 20 years old, cruising through the burbs in a sleek black BMW. Feeling untouchable as the son of trap royalty, Clifford T.I. Harris Jr. What should have been a calm ride turned into full-blown chaos, the kind that spreads across Twitter, Instagram, and World Star in minutes.
You weren't allowed to turn left right there because it's separated by those double yellow lines. I got you. Do you have your license on you? Go ahead and step it up. Okay, Mr. Harris. Okay, we gotta have a talk about something else. So keep your hands on the steering.
King, known for showing off online and chasing that fast money, had no idea that his past was speeding right behind him, ready to crash hard. It all began with what looked like a harmless traffic stop in quiet suburbia, but this one had smoke written all over it. According to Fox 5 Atlanta and the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, King almost sideswiped a Dunwoody police cruiser while pulling out of a gas station. The cops weren't letting that slide. Lights flashing, sirens blaring, they spun that car around fast. But this wasn't just some small-time pullover. No way. When the officer stepped up to the window, he smelled that strong pack and spotted something shiny strapped to King's hip. And that's when everything changed. From that second, everything flipped. Calm turned to chaos in a heartbeat. The whole mess got caught on body cam, and when that footage finally dropped in 2025, it sent social media into a full meltdown. Everyone was talking, reposting, dissecting every second of it like a real-life movie gone wrong. In the clip, the officer stayed chill at first, just asking King to step out the car, but then came the real shocker.
Some weed in the car, so our procedure is we gotta check it. Is there anything else that I need to be aware of?
Hey, I don't want y'all to check the car.
I can't hear you.
I don't want y'all to search the car.
Well, I understand that, but if I smell weed, that's probable cause to search the vehicle.
You're not gonna find them. You're gonna find my guns.
Just multiple guns?
I got a stick, an AR.
Once they ran his full name through the system, boom! An active bench warrant popped up straight out of Pickens County, Georgia. That's when a basic traffic stop turned into a full-blown street situation that had drama written all over it. Turns out that warrant came from him skipping court, connected to charges that had been haunting him since 2022. Let's spin it back to August of that year. King got pulled over and hit with 3 misdemeanors: speeding, driving under the influence, and rolling around with a suspended license. According to Rolling Out, those were light traffic cases, nothing major, but King dropped the ball big time. When the court notice went out in September 2024, it bounced right back, undelivered to his Georgia address. And everybody knows, when you miss court, even for something small, the system don't play. That's an automatic warrant just waiting to come bite you later. So by the time October rolled around and King nearly clipped that Dunwoody cop car, that old warrant was sitting hot in the system, ready to light up. As the stop went down, tension started rising quick. The body cam showed officers catching that loud smell and asking about the peace in the ride. And King, he didn't panic. He kept it solid, staying real all the way through.
Like a cool kid, I don't want anything to come out of this. So let's just make sure that the warrant's valid and go from there.
King didn't hold back for a second. He straight up told the cops he had burners on him. No hesitation, no lies, just raw honesty. When that body cam clip hit the internet, people went wild. The son of a trap legend openly admitting he was strapped and carrying a little gas too. That scene had the whole culture talking. But what really threw folks off wasn't what he said. It was how calm he was while saying it. King stayed cool as ice the whole time. No shaking, no panic, just steady energy. Hands visible, no sudden moves, following every command like he'd done this before. At one point, he even cracked a few jokes with the officers, keeping the mood light like it was just another day. You could see one of the cops almost looking impressed, like even he couldn't believe how smooth this kid was under pressure. The vibe was chill until that warrant came back confirmed. Then boom! Game over. In seconds, King Harris was cuffed up hearing that classic Miranda readout, and you could feel the shift. That's the exact moment everyone watching realized. It was real now. King was officially booked. First stop, Cobb County Jail. Then he got transferred to Pickens County, where that old warrant had been sitting like a ticking time bomb, just waiting for him to slip up. But the internet really exploded when the next part dropped.
Confirm it. So the warrant is valid and they do want you. Hello. And now that I'm thinking about it, I want you to make sure that you know your rights. I'm gonna read your Miranda real quick. Just give me 1 sec. Read your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
During small talk in the patrol car, King casually let it slip that his dad was none other than the King of the South himself. T.I., the officers froze for a second, realizing this wasn't just some random kid they'd pulled over. This was hip-hop royalty in handcuffs. Fans couldn't stop talking. The memes, the clips, the debates, all flooding the timeline. This wasn't just another young dude caught up in the system. This felt like history repeating itself, a full circle moment echoing back to the same legal storms T.I. had faced in his own rise to fame. Then came the twist nobody saw coming, the kind of curveball that had everyone double-checking headlines. Despite the weed, the weapon, and that active warrant, King didn't stay locked up long at all. By the very next day, October 15th, 2024, he was out. Free as ever. The warrant got recalled. No new charges, no heavy time, nothing. Just a quick brush with the law that ended before it even got started. Georgia's relaxed weed laws and carry rules worked in his favor in a major way. Legally, the whole thing wrapped up faster than it began, but in the streets and online, the fallout was instant. King's name was plastered everywhere. TMZ, Hot New Hip Hop, The Shade Room, every platform was running the same bold headline: T.I.'s son arrested, gun and weed found, warrant confirmed. It was like wildfire, spreading across social media, talk shows, and every group chat in the game.
To have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way.
But the real question hit deeper. Why did this one small suburban arrest shake the culture so hard? On paper, it was nothing major, but symbolically, it cut deep. For years, T.I. had warned his son about chasing a lifestyle he didn't need, telling him straight up in interviews that trying to act street when you grew up far from the struggle would only lead one way: behind bars. And now that prophecy had come true for the whole world to see. The irony was loud. The same warnings T.I. preached had become the very headline attached to his own son. Still, the body cam footage told a different story, one that made people wonder if maybe King wasn't as reckless as everyone thought. King wasn't wilding out, wasn't talking slick. He looked calm, almost drained, like reality had finally caught up to him. On the body cam, you could hear him saying he didn't even understand why there was a warrant, asking if he could reach out to his dad. That moment hit different. It stripped away all the Instagram bravado and showed something raw, something real. The same King Harris who spent years online flexing like he was built for the streets was now just a young man in cuffs, sitting in a quiet suburb, wanting to call his father. That image stuck in people's minds hard. The footage didn't hit the public until 2025, but once it dropped on YouTube and hip-hop blogs, it blew the internet wide open. Some people dragged him, saying it proved he'd been trying too hard to play a role that wasn't his, just like Atlanta Black Star's headline called him out for fronting.
More than anything right now is to be able to make a phone call, so when we get there, it can already be figured out.
To who? Who are you trying to make a phone call to?
Trying to make a phone call.
Others defended him, pointing out that a bench warrant over minor traffic stuff could happen to anybody. Still, the visuals told a story nobody could ignore. T.I.'s son, with burners and gas, getting cuffed up in the suburbs. That was the clip the media ran with, and it burned his image into the public's mind. The reckless celebrity kid who keeps finding himself in trouble. But that was only the start of the chaos. Because while the paperwork said it was a short stay and a clean release, the whispers in the streets told a whole different story. By 2025, social media was flooded with rumors. Wild claims that King had secretly been hit with a 5-year sentence. Others saying he got jumped while locked up, and even some insisting that T.I. himself was calling OGs behind the scenes, begging them to keep his son safe. The story spun out of control, part truth, part myth. But one thing was clear. Something about King's time inside didn't sit right. What started as simple street gossip turned into a full-blown saga. Every viral clip of King Harris came with layers of pain, pride, and family tension. Behind all the flashy headlines and messy rumors was a deeper story. A father trying to save his son while the entire world watched. Clifford Harris Jr., known to the world as T.I., wasn't just a rapper in this situation. He was a dad stuck between fame, frustration, and family heartbreak. King's October 2024 arrest might have been the moment that broke the internet, but it was really just another chapter in a long, emotional family struggle, a battle between generations, pride, ego, and the weight of living under the spotlight. For years, T.I. had been warning King that he was heading down the wrong path, and he never sugarcoated it either. In interviews, he said it plain. His son was chasing the wrong kind of validation. From that viral Waffle House fight to showing off weapons online, King kept trying to prove he was built for the streets. But T.I. knew better. He'd lived that life for real. Back in 2009, T.I. served a year in federal prison for gun charges, and his climb to fame came with countless court dates, probation, and close calls. So when he told King, "Keep this up and you'll end up in prison," he meant it. He wasn't preaching. He was warning from experience. So when King finally got cuffed in October 2024, it hit hard. It felt like that prophecy had come true right in front of everyone's eyes. But even before that arrest, the cracks between father and son were already showing, loud and public. The tension had been boiling for months, and by late 2023, it finally exploded. During an Atlanta Falcons game, the two got into a heated argument right there in the stands. And of course, someone caught it on camera. Within hours, the clip went viral, exposing a private family struggle to millions online. King was shouting at the top of his lungs that he wasn't some spoiled silver spoon kid. He swore he'd spent most of his childhood living with his grandma, far away from all the glitz and luxury that T.I. and Tiny had built. For King, it was all about proving he was real, showing the world that he wasn't soft just because he grew up famous. But for T.I., that was pure frustration, watching his own son reject the comfort and security he'd spent his whole life hustling to create. That night wasn't just a family argument. It turned into something symbolic, a clash between father and son over pride, identity, and what it truly means to be real. The world watched it unfold like a scene from a reality show. Every word, every glare, every moment shared and dissected online. So when King later got pulled over and done Woody with weed burners and a bench warrant waiting, it didn't feel like just another traffic stop. It felt like the breaking point, a family earthquake that shook the entire Harris legacy. That image of King sitting in handcuffs, reaching for his dad, hit people deep. It was the total opposite of the tough persona he always showed online. For the first time, it peeled back the layers, exposing a young man who, despite all the bravado, still saw his father as the only one who could save him when things got real. Meanwhile, T.I. kept his cool in public. No online rants, no angry interviews, no fiery statements. But behind closed doors, word is he was moving nonstop, calling lawyers, checking court clerks, and trying to contain the chaos before it exploded even more. Because this wasn't just about damage control. It was about a father fighting to protect his son, his family name, and the legacy he built with his own blood, sweat, and years of struggle. It wasn't just about saving face, it was about protecting a legacy. T.I. had spent over a decade building his name from rapper to mogul, reality star, and respected father figure in the culture. Seeing his son in cuffs wasn't just painful, it felt like a direct hit to everything he'd built brick by brick. Even though King's legal mess technically only lasted 24 hours, the emotional damage inside the Harris family ran deep and loud. But here's the wild twist. Right as T.I. was dealing with all this chaos, King himself was stepping into a new chapter, fatherhood. In November 2024, King and his longtime partner, Sia Big Nana PPs, welcomed their baby boy, King Jr. For T.I., the irony couldn't have hit harder. During an interview with Hot 107.9, right after the baby news broke, he cracked a joke that landed like a truth bomb. Funny, but packed with meaning. He knew exactly what it symbolized. The cycle was starting all over again. King, once the rebellious son trying to prove himself to the streets, was now a young father about to face the same tests, the same lessons, the same reality his own dad had battled through. But the difference? For regular families, a father-son argument or an arrest might stay behind closed doors. Not for the Harrises. Every move they make becomes a headline. Every emotion gets turned into content, and every argument becomes a viral moment. Billboard ran the story like clockwork, Atlanta Black Star clown King for wanting to be a thug so bad, and the internet turned his life into a non-stop meme. People laughed, judged, and dissected every second like it was a show. Every fatherly slip T.I. made became public news, and every mistake King made became proof to the world that he was reckless. What should have been a private family struggle turned into a public spectacle, and the culture couldn't look away. At the end of the day, this whole story ain't really about gangs, rumors, or jail time. It's about family evolution. It's about a father trying to keep his son from repeating the same mistakes he once made, and a young man fighting to step out of the shadow of his last name and define himself on his own terms. King Harris isn't just T.Y.'s son, he's an artist, a new father, and a public figure whose every move gets magnified, judged, and turned into headlines for the world to pick apart. Yeah, the internet loves to twist the story and blow everything up, but honestly, the real truth is wild enough all by itself. King Harris is out here standing in the massive shadow of his father's empire, trying to build something that's his. Brick by brick, move by move. And that's the real pressure. Not the gossip, not the blogs, but proving to the world and to himself that he's more than a name tied to the legend of T.I. So the question isn't whether T.I. made phone calls or begged some OGs. The question is whether King will level up and finally become the man he's meant to be before the cycle spins again. Because this story is far from over. It's still being written in real time, and the next chapter could change everything. If you've been locked in on this story, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Public Secrets. Because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.